Hello, this is Aaron Turpin from CarNewsCafe.com. Today I want to talk about how electric vehicles work. EVs are an emerging technology that is becoming more and more prevalent in automotive. An electric vehicle is more than just a Chevy Volt or a Nissan Leaf. Electric vehicles comprise several different technologies. We're talking about any electrified vehicle. So an electric vehicle could be a Toyota Prius, it could be a Ford Fusion Energy plug-in, it could be a Nissan Leaf, fully a battery electric car, or it could be a fuel cell electric, or it could be a natural gas generated electric car. There are several different ways that you can configure an electric car. But the underlying base technology is always the same. That's what we want to talk about today. An electric vehicle will have three basic components. So it will have an energy storage unit, it will have a control unit, and it will have a propulsion unit. Knowing what the basic components are is one thing, but knowing how they fit inside of an electric car is different. What you're seeing here is a Coda sedan with the bodywork pulled off. You're seeing the underlying powertrain, including the plug that goes to the wall to charge it. We're going to use this basic schematic, and I will point out each of the different components so that you can see the basic underlying idea of how an electric car will work. We begin with the powered storage unit. In this case, in the Coda electric sedan, it is a battery. In some vehicles, it may be something else. Regardless, the idea is that the central core of the electric vehicle is that it must have some way to store power. That power could be in different forms, but regardless, it is stored power. A chemical battery is the most common currently, but there are other technologies that may replace that. From the power storage, power will flow to a controller. The controller acts as a sort of pipeline or gateway to the electric motor which will propel the car. The controller will do several things. First, it modulates the power. It keeps it even and the same. It decides how much power is to be used, and also it usually in most applications will act as a converter. So it will convert power from one type to another, say from DC power to AC power, or it may increase or decrease amperage and does other things as well. It's sort of the brains of the outfit. All of this culminates in the electric motor, which takes that electrical power and converts it to physical energy or movement. To get a different perspective, let's look at this Protean EV prototype. This was a prototype built to showcase the Protean technology and a collaboration with other vendors. First, you'll see the Boston Power battery pack. This battery pack gives you an idea how a battery pack really works. It's usually several modules, not one giant battery. Here you're seeing the underlying chassis. You're seeing the different control units. You're seeing how the power flows. The reason they're showing how the power flows is because the Protean system is very different from others. You'll see there that when the wheel is exploded, what you're seeing is the motor. So the motor is mounted in the wheel rather than as part of a drivetrain. That's an interesting concept, and it's one that's been explored several times because it gives you several advantages. Regardless, this gives you a slightly different perspective on what an electric vehicle might look like. These are the three companies that were involved in building this. Now that you've seen the underlying technology for an electric vehicle, hopefully you have a better idea of how they work. Just remember that the components that are shown here can be moved and interchanged. They're not in a fixed position, and they're not a fixed technology. Some of these will change, especially those batteries. The batteries can be any sort of power storage. So an electric vehicle that is a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle is still an electric car. The difference is that instead of a chemical battery, it uses hydrogen and converts it to electricity and water. The controllers will change because the controllers will have different jobs depending on the application and how the electric car itself is working. Also with an electric car, the motor itself might be different. Some configurations have a different type of electric motor than others. All of them work in the same basic way. And you may have more than one electric motor in the car. So you could have one per axle, you could have one in every wheel like the Protean we just showed you, or you could have just one and it runs on a regular drivetrain in place of a combustion engine. With all of this though, just realize that the basic technology is always the same in every EV you look at. Knowing that, you'll have a better understanding of how an EV works. Thank you for listening. This has been CarNewsCafe.com. This is Aaron Turpin. Hopefully this has been informative and you found it useful. Thank you for watching.